Tonight on TV2 News, a Kent State kayak clinic might make you want to paddle over to the rec center.
And Abby Forbes spoke exclusively with Pan-African Studies professor Shamira Arki about the Supreme Court's ruling on Ketanji Brown Jackson.
And 2 missiles hit a Ukrainian train on Friday. What authorities are saying about the casualties.
Details on Will Smith's Oscar appearance and new rulings made by the Academy. All these stories and more as the TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Portage County, and thank you for joining us. I'm Troyano.
And I'm Gabby Jonas.
And with the warm weather coming our way, new summer hobbies are on the rise.
Yes, our reporter Abby Forbes has details on kayaking at the rec. Abby?
Hey guys, Kent State's Recreational Services Adventure Center hosts several clinics to promote health and wellness. One of them is their kayak clinic.
Stop down at the Adventure Center and try some new adventures.
One adventure on the Kent State Recreational Services Adventure Center's agenda is their kayak clinic that they host in the Student Recreation and Wellness Center's lap pool.
We've been doing the kayak clinic for many years, and there's been different iterations of the clinic itself.
The clinic is open to the public and for anyone from beginners to advanced kayakers.
We'll teach you all the skills you need, so don't be scared to try something new because everyone was a beginner at some time, and we'll help you get to wherever you want to go.
There is an instructor at each clinic who teaches the beginners but also stresses
safety for sure. Make sure everybody has the right size PFD. Make sure nobody's doing anything unsafe.
And with safety as the #1 priority, if you're a beginner, they'll start you off on land to make sure you are comfortable before you get in the water. I think I'm ready.
On the other hand, advanced kayakers have the opportunity to use this time to practice in a safe, controlled environment, and some of them also like to assist where they can.
I've been kayaking for about 4 years now, and I usually help out some of the beginners.
To attend this clinic, you must pre-register by the Wednesday before, and the cost to register is $7, which goes towards paying the instructors and maintaining the equipment available for use for those attending.
We have a lot of really nice gear. You can see behind me we have our PFDs, we have our paddles, we have our kayaks.
However, you also do not have to use their equipment.
If you want to bring your own kayak and your gear, you can just bring it right through the back doors.
The clinic will continue to be held Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. with April 28th as the last one for the semester.
The clinic is one of many, and more information about the Adventure Center's programming can be found on the Rec Services website. Reporting in Kent for TV2 News, I'm Abigail Forbes.
Portage County Volunteer Board declined Donald Trump's request to hold a rally earlier today. The Volunteer Board declined his offer after repeatedly saying no to members of Trump's advance team. Multiple reasons were given to the Fair Board as the rally could not be held. Statements of these reasons were not released at this time.
The Haven and Portage County will welcome in the homeless starting Tuesday, April 19th. The executive director of the Haven, Anne Marie Noble, said that those in need of housing should check in at 5 p.m. on the 19th. And from that point, staff will work with them to get housing and check if they are even eligible to. Noble also said that the Haven still needs food and financial donations.
And something to make you positively happy: on April 23rd, Portage County's Animal Protection League will host Paws to Celebrate. The celebration will include a silent auction, live auction, raffles, dinner, dessert, and music. Being the first indoor celebration since the pandemic, Executive Director Challen Laurie is more than excited for the APL to celebrate in person once again. Deadline to register is April 16th on the APL website, costing only $80 a person.
Hello all, Portage County and Northeast Ohio. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Amador-Gorby with your Friday evening forecast. Currently in Kent right now, it feels like it's partly cloudy skies out there, but it feels like 48 with a dew point at 33. Northeast winds at 11 miles per hour, humidity at 57%, and visibility is at 10 miles. It feels like 43 out there. It's been a cold day out there for sure as we are heading into spring. And as we look across our state right now, we see 47 in Kent, 44 in Cleveland, Sandusky 45, 48 in Canton, Mansfield at 44. Is definitely a cold night out there as the sun's starting to go down. We've been having rain showers around, so that's what's keeping the temperatures down to the low 40s. And our nighttime forecast for this evening, as we can clearly see, rain showers will continue throughout the night, but then towards midnight, things will start to finally clear up as those showers start to go away. But then towards 7 a.m., we will be dealing with cloudy skies. That's all I have for now, but in my next update, we'll be talking about a nice warm-up for next week. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Today, Governor Mike DeWine announced that the Ohio Department of Public Safety will be collecting donations for Ukraine's civilian territorial defense. Ohio's donations to Ukraine will be coordinated by the nonprofit fund to aid Ukraine. Approximately 75 ballistic riot helmets and 840 pieces of body armor, including vests and plates, have been donated at this time.
All right, now zooming in to Akron, a 16-year-old boy was arrested and charged in a shooting that killed two 19-year-olds inside a home on Ellis Avenue. The victims, identified as William Harvey and Jeremiah Burton, were found inside the apartment with gunshot wounds. On Wednesday, Canton police detectives arrested the boy and charged him with murder, felonious assault, and other charges as well, while being transferred to the multi-county juvenile detention system in Stark County. Now, the investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to contact that number right on your screen. And when we come back, the first black woman to have a seat on the Supreme Court. Kent State professors are reacting to this monumental moment.
The new emerging details on the alleged plot to kidnap Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer when we return.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Thanks for sticking with us. Ketanji Brown Jackson was just confirmed Thursday to the United States Supreme Court, becoming the first black woman to hold a seat.
And with this historic announcement, our Abigail Forbes returns with an exclusive TV2 interview with Shamari Arki to discuss the reaction.
So what does it mean for a black woman to be in the highest court in the U.S.?
So what it means for a black woman to be in the highest court in the U.S., I think it's about the other folks who are understanding now that black women have the keys, right? When we think about liberation, when we think about being to a place where we can be our whole selves in our institutions, in our communities, really seeing that there's a black woman who has been elected to this role to think about the long-term sustainability of the success of the legal system in the United States, how it has traditionally impacted people of color, Black people in a particular way, how it was designed to do that. I think that having a Black woman on the Supreme Court gives us an opportunity to rethink what democracy can look like, sound like, and feel like.
Yeah, of course. So what do you think about her confirmation process?
I think her confirmation process is really indicative of what Black women experience on a daily basis. So we see this as, the highest court of the land, and we know that there are certain things, stipulations that we have to follow. But being a Black woman, every time we show up in a space and we're going to give a suggestion, a solution, we are questioned. Well, how do you know that? Well, what are the facts? What's the data? Oh, let's convene a committee. And really looking to, as Black women show up in professional spaces on a regular basis, we are devalued. Our labor is devalued, and we are a victim of being hypervisible and invisible at the same time. And so I think that for this process for Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, I think that this process has illuminated this for lots of folks who don't understand that. As Black women, particularly, I'm from Cleveland, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. Within the last 5 years, we have been inundated with data saying that Cleveland, Ohio is one of the worst places for Black women. The mom and infant mortality rate here for Black women is so high. But to see that even despite systemic, interpersonal deterrents, ways to hold us back, we are still able to move forward and succeed. And that really means that we're bringing our community with us, because it's not just about us. It's not just about Judge Brown Jackson. It's about all of us. And she understands that, and we understand that. So we support her. But during these confirmation hearings, I think that there is a lack of cultural competency, cultural exposure, is that, when you're a Black person and, you're becoming the archetype as opposed to the prototype, there is a responsibility that you have around bringing your community with you. And I think that is lost, that has been lost in the confirmation hearings. But we can tell that, we can listen, and we can read between the lines and know that she's definitely down for us as oppressed people in the United States, and definitely believes the saying by Fannie Lou Hamer, none of us are free until all of us are free.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. That is all I have for us.
All right, now continuing with the news of Ketanji Brown Jackson, this has led a senator to do something special for his daughter. Taking to Instagram, Senator Raphael Warnock revealed he wrote a letter to his daughter saying, quote, "Ketanji Brown Jackson is the first Supreme Court justice that looks like you." In the post, Warnock said that he wanted to make sure his daughter knew she could achieve anything she sets her head and her heart to do. He was encouraged to do so by Vice President Kamala Harris.
Though vaccinated and boosted, yesterday Senator Raphael Warnock announced on his Twitter that he tested positive for COVID. Warnock's positive COVID results came after he attended Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court confirmation. The Democratic Georgia senator, who was seen maskless around other lawmakers and Kamala Harris, though it is still unclear if he attended the annual Gridiron Dinner. And today, 2 men were found not guilty for the accused plotting of kidnapping Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Daniel Joseph Harris and Brandon Mitchell Ray Casrada were cleared of kidnapping conspiracy charges. Charges against Adam Fox and Barry Gordon Kraft Jr. could not reach a verdict. And in 2020, prosecutions alleged the 6 men planned to kidnap Governor Whitmer and also hold her for ransom. At this time, it's unclear whether federal prosecutors will pursue a new trial.
And though COVID restrictions are being removed currently, the incline in COVID-19 cases has steadily returned. The CDC shows this data as CNN's Amy Kiley reports.
Over the next couple of weeks, we are going to see an uptick in cases, and hopefully there's enough background immunity so that we don't wind up with a lot of hospitalizations.
We can already see that uptake in the daily counts, but not yet in the weekly numbers. Cases these days are nowhere near the Omicron peak, and they're holding steady or even declining in some states. But these parts of the U.S. are seeing cases rise. One place with a high-profile outbreak is Washington, D.C.
There have been COVID cases among senior officials. There's COVID cases among people who work other jobs too, of course. The important thing is that people be protected from severe COVID.
These are just some of the top politicians and staff members who have tested positive recently. When news broke of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's positive test, here's how the White House responded.
We have to take serious precautions. We should stay masked up when we feel it's appropriate and just use common sense.
But Vice President Kamala Harris was not masked up when presiding over the Senate Thursday. She was in close contact with her communications director before he announced he'd tested positive. The White House says Harris had consulted with a White House physician prior to her decision. But CDC guidelines urge masking after close contact exposures. Now lawmakers are offered a 2-week Easter break without having passed a COVID-19 relief package. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
All right, now moving internationally, 2 missiles hit a train station in Ukraine where Eastern Ukraine authorities say there are dozens of casualties. This happened in the city of Kramatorsk, which is in the Donbas region. The head of the regional military administration is saying that first responders on the scene are reporting dozens of people both dead and injured. The station was crowded with thousands of people looking to evacuate from the region.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look at our live radar. As you can clearly see, look at these rain showers coming in all across the area. Scattered rain showers hitting Summit County. We're about to get hit with this rain shower right here towards Portage County. This is all part of this low pressure system that's moving above us in Canada, bringing in all these rain showers, hit or miss, scattered. Today I actually was caught in one earlier. These rain showers are going to be hit and miss, but they won't last for very long as this system will be moving through, moving these rain showers out, bringing in cloudy skies towards for our evening. And as we look across our state right now, we can see temperatures of 50 in Akron, 47 in Steubenville, Lima at 45, 48 in Dayton, 45 in Cincinnati. It is definitely a cold night out there, and your temperatures are probably even lower because of the rain showers that are going through our area. So please keep that in mind. Wear your jacket if you're heading out tonight, because those rain showers are going to be coming your way, folks. It's probably going to hit most of us tonight. And as we were saying before, the rain showers will continue throughout tonight. But don't worry though, folks, because thankfully, as we start to head towards the week, we will see a big warm air mass coming through Monday and Tuesday, bringing in really nice warm air into our region. However, I will say though, there is a chance for some precipitation, as we can clearly see for your Wednesday, with showers and even some thunderstorms possible. As that warm air from the Gulf brings in moisture, this helps to bring in the chance for showers and, of course, thunderstorms. We don't know if they're going to be severe or not, but it is possible that some of these storms could be severe by next week. But please stay tuned to continue watching to find out more about that. And your 7-day outlook, as you can clearly see, cloudy skies will continue throughout the week, but then we will start to see some rain showers towards Monday and Tuesday as those highs start to go up into the 70s. But then, of course, Wednesday, we will start to see the chances for isolated thunderstorms here and there, hit or miss. But as you can clearly see, the warmth will continue through Wednesday and Thursday, bringing temperatures up to the 70s with chances of rain. And towards Friday, we can clearly see sunny skies with highs in the 60s. And that about wraps up our Friday evening forecast. Please stay warm and dry out there. Have a great weekend, everyone. Back to you guys at the news desk.
A new report detailing the way COVID-19 has impacted the Black community makes it clear the crisis is not over.
Especially when the CDC director said, quote, racism is a serious public health threat. Exactly 1 year ago today. CNN's Britt Conway has a look at the report in your Health Minute.
New COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are on the decline across the country. But experts say the crisis isn't over. A new report from the Black Coalition Against COVID-19 details the disproportionate impact the virus has had on Black Americans, something we've watched play out since the early stages of the pandemic. April 2020.
The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19.
July 2020.
The populations who are most at risk, that's our Latino and African-American communities.
March 2021.
Life-saving vaccines. that need to be equitably distributed across our country.
And by April 2021, the head of the CDC said the pandemic illuminated inequities of another epidemic, racism. And this new report shows COVID-19 is still disproportionately affecting Black communities. Among its findings, the report says Black Americans recently experienced the highest rate of hospitalization for any racial or ethnic group, and the risk of dying from the virus is nearly twice as high compared to white people, taking a toll on Black families. Between April 2020 and June 2021, 1 in 310 Black children lost a parent or caregiver, compared to 1 in 738 white children. For experts and advocates alike, it's a call to action to address problems that existed long before the pandemic. For Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
The healthcare workforce is slowly coming back to pre-pandemic levels, at least according to a study published Friday in the journal JAMA Health Forum. Researchers compared turnover rates between April through December 2020 and January through October 2021, and they found that the rates peaked in the first part of the pandemic, but largely recovered in the second.
And a racial lawsuit has been made by former head coach of the Miami Dolphins on the NFL's unfair hiring process. More details to come.
And spring is in the air, and with that comes baseball and softball. We'll take a look around KSU athletics after the break.
I gotta tell Michaela.
What?
Oh my gosh!
That
you
would not believe.
What?
Oh, the blurb's on at 9 on Tuesdays.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
A lawsuit was made against the NFL for racial discrimination in its hiring practices.
Former Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores is who initiated the lawsuit. The Titans, Cardinals, and Texans were added to the suit as well.
Now, the lawsuit asks for increased transparency in NFL hiring, incentives for hiring Black coaches, and increased visibility for Black assistant coaches.
I'm not on my own. I've gotten a lot of support, a lot of text messages, emails, phone calls, a lot of support from other coaches who've gone through similar experiences that I've gone through. I would say I felt similar pressures that Black people feel in all fields, not just football. That we have to do more, that we have to be better.
And in other news, our Benjamin McMillen has more on all things baseballs and Cavaliers. Hi, Ben.
What's up, and happy Friday, Portage County. I'm Ben McMillen here for your weekend sports report. The Kent State baseball team continues their conference play this weekend with a 4-game series hosting the Bowling Green Falcons before a Tuesday trip to Pittsburgh for a battle with the Panthers. The Flashes enter the weekend with a 10-12 record but sit in 4th place in the conference with a record of 5-5. The opening game to the weekend had first pitch at 4 p.m. today, followed by a Saturday doubleheader and a Sunday matinee matchup to close out the series. And the KSU softball team tallied their first conference series win of the season earlier this week with a 6-3 victory over the Central Michigan Chippewas. A run spot in the bottom of the third inning primed the Flashes for the win as they look to carry momentum into this weekend's trip to Fordham for a doubleheader with the Rams, before continuing conference play next Friday against Northern Illinois. And we see the Cavs matchup for tonight in a trip to Brooklyn with the regular season finale rapidly approaching. Currently, the Cavs hold the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference and have a 1-game lead over the Nets and the Atlanta Hawks. With a win tonight, the Cavaliers could clinch home court advantage in the play-in tournament, while a loss could drop the Cavs all the way to 9th place in the conference. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 tonight, and I expect the return of Evan Mobley to the lineup to play a huge role for the Cavs' race to the postseason. And moving on to opening day for the MLB, Zach Greinke making his return. 17-year vet, Ahmed Rosario lining it up at first, but with the top 10 play is Nicky Lopez at second base, saving the run at second, but Jose Ramirez had something to say about it. He finds the open green in left center. Miles Straw scores, giving the Guardians a 1-0 early lead here in this one. Nicky Lopez heard this name with the diving web gem to start the game. He can do it at the plate too. Drives it deep to left field, miscommunication between Ahmad Rosario and Miles Straw. Scores Hunter Dozier from second base, 1-1 here midway through the game. Tristan McKenzie working against Bobby Witt Jr., the #1 prospect with his first hit in the MLB. Scores the man from second base for the Royals to take the 2-1 early lead, and the Guardians know you got to keep that ball, case it up. That is the first career hit for Bobby Witt Jr. And following that, we have Andrew Biceps Benintendi finding some space in the middle of the infield and scoring Bobby Witt Jr., that #1 prospect. 3-1 final, the Royals keep it home, 1-0 early. And that will wrap up our sports report with a loaded weekend filled with opening weekend for the MLB and the Masters in Augusta. I've been Ben McMillen. Have the best weekend, Portage County. And back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ben. All right, now as controversy surrounding Will Smith and the Oscars moves forward, the Oscars are also moving forward, announcing a decision that will affect the next decade. We return shortly.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Well, get on your dancing shoes and head on over to Disney Plus, as Dancing with the Stars is doing the same. The show is leaving its current platform, ABC, and will exclusively air on Disney Plus in the U.S. and Canada starting this fall.
Chairman of Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, Kareem Daniel, says that because of the show's Disney-themed weeks and its broad audience, the move will hopefully expand its demographic reach. And Will Smith will not be on stage at the next year's Academy Awards to present an award. That's because the actor has been banned from attending the Oscars for the next decade. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences handed down the consequence Friday as a result of Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock on stage during this year's ceremony.
And in a statement, the Academy said the board decided Smith will not be allowed to attend any Academy events or programs in person or virtually for a period of 10 years. However, he can still be nominated for awards. And that is all we have for you tonight, Portage County, for your Thursday edition of TV2 News.
When we are off the air, make sure to keep in tune with KentWire.com and Kent Wired on socials. I'm Gabby Jonas.
And I'm Shane Troyano. Have a great night, Portage County.
Broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University. Streaming online at KentWired.com.
Every one of us has a voice. And every voice has the power to shape the world. Ours is no different. Our voice is 85 years in the making. A voice that's more than 700 students strong, one of the largest in the nation. It's 10 different award-winning media partners sharing 34 outlets, all working united toward a common goal. Our voice reaches 30,000 households on TV, over 22,000 magazine readers per year, 500,000 newspapers, feature films in stores nationwide. Our voice is pride in what we do. It empowers students, emerging professionals, to ask tough questions and demand answers. We believe in our voice. We believe in its ability to change the world. And our voice makes us who we are.